You've visualized it countless times, eyes closed, heart open, emotions vivid like a rising tide. You felt it coming. A new job, a healed heart, a better life. But then, the same old reality greets you again. If this cycle feels achingly familiar, this video is for you. There's a quiet paradox in the spiritual world. The more intensely we visualize, the deeper our disappointment when nothing changes. Why does that happen? If everything is energy, if the universe speaks in vibration, then why doesn't this vibration work? The truth is, visualization without coherent frequency is like shouting affirmations underwater. It feels loud, but nothing truly travels. Research from the HeartMath Institute shows that it's not just thoughts, but emotional resonance, body chemistry, and subconscious coherence that shift reality. So stay with me, because what we're about to uncover may just rewire everything you've believed about manifestation, and finally give your inner signal the power to collapse the quantum wave into a new world. What if the real secret to manifestation isn't in what you see, but in what you broadcast? There's a quantum difference between visualizing the life you want and becoming the version of you who already lives it. Visualization is powerful but incomplete. It's like drawing a map without ever taking a step. Frequency is the step. It's the signal you emit with every breath, every heartbeat, every subconscious thought. Imagine trying to tune into a specific radio station. If your dial is even slightly off, all you get is static. The universe works the same way. You don't manifest what you want. You manifest what you are, your dominant frequency. Dr. Joe Dispenza's research shows that coherent brain and heart waves, when aligned, create measurable shifts in electromagnetic fields around the body. These aren't metaphors. These are signals the quantum field can read. A 2020 study at the University of California, Irvine, found that people who practiced emotional regulation and embodiment, not just visualization, experienced more rapid external change. So if you've been picturing your dream life, but waking up in the same old loop, maybe it's not about seeing it more clearly, but tuning into it more authentically. Are your emotions aligned with your vision? Is your nervous system safe enough to receive what you're asking for? Let's open this conversation. Have you felt this disconnection between what you want and what you're experiencing? Tell me in the comments. Your story matters. And if this resonates, give the video a like or subscribe for more grounded yet transformative truths. Up next, we'll dive deeper into how the quantum field doesn't respond to your desires, it responds to your energetic coherence. Stay with me. This shift in understanding might be the key you've been searching for. Imagine planting a seed, but watering it with doubt, shading it with fear, and whispering hope only when convenient. Would it grow? The quantum field is no different. It doesn't respond to your intentions. It responds to your signal. And that signal isn't built on what you say you want. It's built on your daily emotions, your repeated behaviors, your silent expectations. That's what the field reads. Not your dream job on a vision board, but how you feel each morning when you wake. Not your affirmations of abundance, but whether your choices reflect trust or scarcity. This is the essence of coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions speak the same language consistent, you generate a frequency strong enough to influence reality. Neuroscientists at the University of Wisconsin found that sustained coherence in neural and emotional patterns can create observable changes in cognitive performance, physical health, and even decision-making. In quantum terms, that means you're no longer just wishing, you're transmitting. How do you know when you're not coherent? You visualize love, but keep expecting rejection. You journal confidence, but apologize for taking up space. You affirm wealth, but tense up when paying bills. These contradictions are subtle, yet powerful. They scramble your frequency like static on a radio. The result? Mixed signals, stalled outcomes, and a frustrating sense that the universe isn't listening. But it is, always. It's listening to the real you, the one beneath the words. What do you think? Have you felt that gap between what you say and what you live? Let me know in the comments. In the next part, we'll explore why acting as if isn't pretending, it's training your frequency to become the signal. Stay tuned. What if acting as if wasn't pretending but training your frequency to match the life you want? Imagine a violinist tuning her instrument not to fool the orchestra, but to be in harmony with the music that's about to unfold. That's what this is. You're not faking anything. You're rehearsing a reality your nervous system hasn't memorized yet. And here's the key. The field doesn't wait for external proof, it responds to internal alignment. Your actions become a declaration. I already have it. That means writing in your journal as the version of you who already lives in peace, in love, in abundance. It means receiving compliments without deflecting them because that's how your future self would respond. It means dressing not for where you've been, but for where you're headed. Standing taller, breathing deeper, making decisions from a place of wholeness, not lack. Research from Stanford's Department of Psychology found that adopting postures and thought patterns of a more confident identity leads to real neurological shifts changing how the brain perceives fear, possibility, and self-worth. This isn't imagination, it's embodiment. But it might feel strange at first, like wearing new shoes that haven't molded to your stride. That's okay. That discomfort is your old frequency, dissolving. Have you ever tried acting as if, but felt awkward or fake? What did you notice? Share your story in the comments. This space is for you. And stay close, because in the next part, we'll explore why that feeling of discomfort isn't a sign you're doing it wrong, but a signal your nervous system is learning to accept a new vibration. This is where the transformation truly begins. Have you ever tried stepping into a new version of yourself, confident, worthy, abundant only to feel awkward, fake, or even guilty? That feeling isn't failure. It's biology. Your nervous system isn't resisting the dream, it's adjusting to a frequency it hasn't yet learned to feel safe in. You're not lying to yourself. You're reminding your body of a truth your soul already knows. For most of us, the nervous system has been conditioned to survive, not to thrive. It recognizes familiar discomfort, scarcity, self-doubt, limitaciones, safe, simply because it's known. So when you suddenly begin choosing peace over panic, or ease over effort, it can trigger alarm bells. That's not your intuition warning you. That's just old wiring firing. According to Dr. Stephen Porges, creator of the polyvagal theory, the body must physiologically feel safe before it can access higher emotional states like joy, trust, or creative flow. So how do you teach your body to feel safe in expansion? Gentle, consistent regulation. Try breathwork like inhaling for 4 counts, exhaling for 6 to downshift the nervous system. Grounding exercises, such as walking barefoot or placing your hands on your chest. Even light shaking or tapping, EFT, can help discharge stuck energy. These are not hacks. They are love letters to your nervous system. You're not failing because it feels strange. You're evolving. Think of it as stretching into a new skin. It may be unfamiliar, but it fits the future you're calling in. Have you felt this discomfort when stepping into a new self? How did you navigate it? I'd love to hear in the comments. And stay with me because next, we'll uncover one of the biggest blockers in manifestation: mixed signals. Why you might be aligned on the surface, but split underneath. And how to stop sending the universe conflicting frequencies. You can speak abundance. You can visualize love. You can write affirmations in gold ink every morning. But if beneath the surface your body is broadcasting fear, doubt, or unworthiness, the universe hears that instead. Mixed signals are one of the most overlooked reasons why manifestation fails. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to what you say, it responds to what you consistently vibrate. Think of it like tuning a lighthouse. If the light flashes in one direction but the energy source flickers, no ship will find safe harbor. That's what happens when your thoughts say yes, but your emotions whisper, not safe, and your actions scream, I don't believe it. For example, you visualize deep, fulfilling love but subconsciously push people away, afraid of being seen. You declare wealth is your birthright but panic every time you pay for lunch. These contradictions create static in your frequency, and static can't manifest clarity. Dr. Bruce Lipton, cell biologist and author of The Biology of Belief, reminds us that over 90% of our behavior is subconscious. So what you feel in your body, not just what you think, is your dominant signal. Want to know your true frequency? Don't just listen to your words. Observe how you feel when you make decisions. That emotional charge is your energetic signature. Want to know your true frequency? Don't just listen to your words. Observe how you feel when you make decisions. That emotional charge is your energetic signature. So what's your pattern? Where do you say yes but feel no? I'd love to hear your reflections in the comments. And stay with me because in the next section, we'll talk about what happens when your thoughts, feelings, and actions finally line up. When coherence is activated, your signal becomes clear, focused, magnetic. That's when the universe doesn't just hear you, it moves with you. This is where the magic begins. What happens when every part of you, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions whispers the same truth? It's already mine. That's coherence. And in the quantum field, coherence is power. It's the energetic equivalent of a laser-focused, clear, and impossible to ignore. When you're coherent, you don't beg the universe. You become the signal it responds to. This isn't about perfection. It's about alignment. Imagine choosing one thought that affirms your vision. I am supported. Then pairing it with an emotion calm trust. And following through with one action may be a gentle step forward, like sending that email, making that call, or simply taking a deeper breath. Just one day where your energy isn't scattered, but unified. That's coherence in motion. The HeartMath Institute has shown that when the heart and brain enter a coherent state, the body's electromagnetic field becomes more organized, extending several feet beyond the skin and influencing others. You literally broadcast harmony, and that broadcast shifts your interactions, your decisions, even how others respond to you. Have you ever walked into a room and felt someone's energy before they spoke? That's coherence at work. It's not about being loud, it's about being aligned. And when you live in that alignment, manifestation becomes less about effort and more about inevitability. So here's a small invitation. Choose one clear intention today. Let your thoughts support it. Let your emotions nourish it. Let your actions express it. Observe what shifts not just outside, but within. Have you ever felt this kind of alignment? When everything inside you said yes? I'd love to know, share in the comments. And stay with me because next, we'll explore why this isn't about pretending or performing. You're not faking a better version of yourself. You're simply returning to who you already are beneath the noise. What if the version of you you're becoming isn't new at all? What if it's the real you, the one that's been buried under years of conditioning, fear, and false identity? You're not pretending. You're remembering. Neville Goddard called it living from the end. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it rewiring new patterns. But both speak to the same truth. This isn't about becoming someone else, it's about peeling off everything you're not. When you begin to act, feel, and decide from a new state of being, it may look like you're faking it, but in reality, you're unlearning the lie that says you're small, powerless, separate. What you're actually doing is collapsing the old identity, what neuroscience now refers to as identity disintegration, not building something new, but dissolving what never truly belonged. Think of it like the forest after winter. The leaves you shed weren't mistakes. They were seasons. But now it's time to grow again from your roots, not your roles. And yes, sometimes in the middle of that shift, you'll feel lost, disoriented, like the ground beneath your feet is unfamiliar. That's not failure. That's confirmation. If you feel like you're in between stories, it means you've exited the old timeline but haven't yet fully stabilized in the new one. That's where the magic brews, where you begin living from truth, not survival. So if you've ever thought, is this really me? Maybe the better question is, was that other version ever real? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to know what part of you is reawakening. And stay close because next, we'll explore a sign many of you have seen. 777. Not as a reward, but as a signal that your frequency is finally matching your higher path. That's when synchronicity starts speaking in clear, undeniable ways. Have you ever glanced at a clock 777? 777? Again and again, and felt a quiet thrill in your chest. As if the universe was whispering, you're getting warmer. But here's the deeper truth. 777 isn't a reward. It's not a cosmic pat on the back. It's a resonance signal, a mirror, reflecting that your inner frequency has reached coherence with your higher path. You don't chase 777. It appears when you stop needing proof, when your energy is so stable, so aligned, that external signs no longer feel necessary. That's when synchronicity flows in. Not as magic, but as feedback, like ripples in a pond confirming that your presence has moved something deep and unseen. In quantum language, synchronicity is not superstition, it's resonance. When your vibrational field becomes consistent, you begin to intersect with patterns, numbers, moments, and opportunities that reflect your inner harmony. A 2022 study in cognitive science at the University of Edinburgh found that people in heightened self-awareness states reported increased perception of meaningful coincidence because the brain and nervous system were more attuned to internal signals, matching external cues. But here's the caution: don't turn synchronicities into superstitions. 777 is not a charm. It's not a loophole. It's simply a mirror. If you treat it like a shortcut or magical fix, you miss the message. Your energy got you here. Let it keep you here. So next time you see it, pause, breathe, smile, not because something is coming, but because something has already shifted. You've matched the frequency. That's the real miracle. Have you experienced synchronicities like this? What did they feel like? Let's share in the comments. There's wisdom in your story too. And stay with me, because in the next section we'll explore something even more subtle. How you'll know you're aligned not by excitement, but by peace. No more emotional highs, just deep, quiet knowing. That's the real power. What if the most powerful sign that you're finally aligned isn't fireworks, but silence? Not adrenaline, but peace? It's easy to think manifestation feels like a dramatic arrival, a cinematic breakthrough. But in truth, the most transformative frequency is quiet, still, steady, like a mountain that no longer needs to move because it already is. Stability is the signal. When you're no longer chasing, proving, or overthinking. When your nervous system isn't oscillating between hope and doubt but resting in calm expectation. That stillness is coherence embodied. You'll notice it in the small things. You make decisions with ease. You stop checking for signs. You stop needing the outcome to validate your worth. Neuroscience supports this. A 2021 study from the University of Toronto found that individuals who practice somatic regulation and heart-brain coherence reported increased decision, clarity, and emotional stability, regardless of external circumstances. Why? Because their inner state was no longer reacting, it was leading. And here's the beautiful paradox. The moment you stop needing it is often the moment it shows up, because that "I don't need it anymore" isn't apathy, it's frequency alignment. It means you've become a match, not because you said the right words, but because your entire being moved into harmony. So if you've been waiting for a lightning strike, what if your sign is already here? In the peace you've been feeling lately? That moment you breathed deeper, that decision you made without spiraling, that hour you forgot to worry. That's it. Have you felt that quiet shift? That moment you stopped wanting and just were? Share in the comments. I'd love to hear how peace arrived for you. And stay close, because next, we'll explore something liberating. When you no longer need to chase anything, because you've become the signal itself. That's when life begins to orbit around you. What if the entire time, it wasn't about chasing the life you want, but about tuning into it? Like a radio that doesn't force the music to commit, simply adjusts its dial until the frequency is clear. You don't need to convince the quantum field. You don't need to shout louder, work harder, or prove your worth. You simply need to broadcast the right signal, and the universe will respond in kind. When you stop striving and start embodying, everything changes. You no longer perform worthiness. You live in it. Not someday, now. Because alignment isn't something you earn. It's something you remember. This is not about pretending you're rich, loved, or healed. It's about asking, how would I walk, breathe, speak, choose, if I already were? That version of you exists in the field now. Your job is not to wait for it. Your job is to become it. So here's your final practice today. Take one small action as if it's already done. Not to make it happen, but because it already has. Write one sentence, right now, as if your manifestation is your current reality. Let it feel real. Let it feel yours. This isn't mental gymnastics. It's vibrational precision. As Dr. David Hawkins noted in his research on consciousness scales, higher emotional states like peace, acceptance, and gratitude carry more magnetic energy than desire, fear, or control. Because remember this, you do not manifest what you want, you manifest what you've become. What do you think? What's one identity shift you're choosing right now? Let me know in the comments. Your reflection may mirror someone else's breakthrough. And if this message resonates, let it echo beyond thought. Let it become movement. Let it become breath. You're not chasing. You are the signal. And that is more than enough. Have you ever noticed how, sometimes, your breath changes not from stress, but from remembrance, as if something in you just landed? If that happened while watching this, then you didn't just watch a video. You entered the field. You tuned into a frequency that's always been your sand, maybe. Just maybe. You're finally home. 777 is not luck. It's language. A vibrational confirmation. A subtle nod from the universe saying, yes, this is it. So when you type 777 in the comments, you're not just leaving a number. You're declaring your alignment. You're anchoring a new frequency in your nervous system, your reality, your future timeline. And here's the deeper invitation. Stay. Not for the video, not for the words, but for the field, for the energy you're now part of. Because we're not just scrolling, we're shifting. Together. Every time you feel peace instead of panic, presence instead of pressure, you're not reacting to life. You're rewriting it. A 2023 study from the Mind-Body Institute in Massachusetts found that individuals who consistently visualized from a state of physiological coherence, heart rate variability, breath synchronization, grounded posture, experienced faster shifts in life satisfaction, career clarity, and even physical healing. Why? Because they weren't just wishing, they were broadcasting truth. So, what if you stopped searching? What if you're already enough? Already worthy? Already on the frequency that calls in what's yours, not as a reward, but as a resonance? If that speaks to you, let the field hear it. Comment 777 to affirm it, like if this realigned something inside. And subscribe if you want more reminders, not just of possibility, but of who you already are. You don't need to chase anything. You are the signal. And the life you once dreamed of, it's just been waiting for you to arrive.